I've done some shopping. I got some supplies. So I wanted one of these hoses that would just fall together basically. And it was cheaper to get with the tools than without. And I didn't have one of these. So just got this whole package. And then I got some primer and some matte black top coat. This is basically a knockoff WD-40, so it does basically everything and it's really good. And I got myself some plastic to cover stuff for painting, because what we're going to do now is paint. Well, we're going to use these, but I'm going to prepare for painting first. So you can see I've taken the tow bar down, and I'm going to sand the whole rear cross member and then repaint it so it looks good again. And the reason why I do it now is because I want to paint the surface first before we're doing all the rest of the chassis underbody coating, so that this surface gets a nice coat of paint. If we would do the undercoating first, then this would be all oily and stuff, so and it would be hard to clean up and paint properly. So we're doing this first. So I've blown off a bunch of loose stuff, and now we can start sanding stuff down. We'll be using the drill and some of these. So I'm guessing I'll use this one first to get all the loose bits off, and then we'll use the sanding paper to clean it all up and give it a nice surface. There we have the first try, basically. And there are a lot of spots, but nothing has rusted through, so that's really positive. It's been replaced a few years back. I don't know how many years, but it doesn't seem to be treated at all after it's been put on. So this is probably still the British powder coating, and that usually doesn't last too long in Sweden. So yeah, I'll be taping up the paintwork even if it's crap as is, just to make sure that I don't scratch it too much. And then we'll do all these bits as well with that wire brush, and then we'll go and swap to one of those sanding pads, and we'll see if we can make the finish a bit better. But it's also quite smooth. So before spray painting, I'm actually going to put some rust converter on, so so we stabilize the rust. And then in here I'm going to see if I can just clean it up with like a screwdriver or something, and put some rust converter on there as well. And this will also be covered by the special underbody coating, so not too worried about that. And yeah, must not forget to do the tow bar assembly as well, because that also has to look nice. So I ended up using the angle grinder and a flap disc, and I cleaned up all the whole cross member as well as the toe ball plate. I found that it was too uneven to go on with the just the regular sanding pads on the screwdriver. So I just went all in and used this 60 grit flat disc on the angle grinder, and now it's almost completely smooth, and I've sanded away basically all the rust. But just to be sure, I'll be applying a rust converter right now. I'll apply that, let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we'll come back and then we'll start sanding the whole cross member to give it a one smooth surface. It's now a day later, and the rust converter has had all night and all day today to dry and to cure and to work, and it looks really good. So what we're going to do now is sand everything down so we can get a nice and smooth finish, because paint work is all in the preparation. I remember I had this sander, so I actually had some 60 grit sanding paper for it, so I started off with that, and then I used 120 grit, and I'm actually happy with the surface as it is.
I made sure everything was clean, both the cross member and the floor, just so no dust would kick up while painting.
There we have it. The whole cross member is prepped, toe bar is prepped as well, and now it's time to start taping up. So I'll be putting another line of tape across the whole bottom of the car, and then we'll also be taping up quite a bit underneath, because the first primer spray is red, and I don't want to have a lot of red overspray on the rest of the car underneath. So we'll be using the plastic to cover the car, and then also cover the underside. And then we'll probably start applying a primer tonight, so it can cure overnight. And there we have it all prepped. It's all covered up in plastic, and I've cleaned the surfaces off with some thinner, and now we're just waiting for it to dry, and then it's time to start spraying the primer. So we'll just wait for the thinner to evaporate, and then we start spraying. that's coat number 1, and I've just coated it lightly. I started with all the nooks and crannies, just the hard to get by stuff, so you don't get it too thick on there. This is the first one. Now we'll wait about 10 minutes, do the next one. And this is the reason why I should wear a respirator when doing any type of sanding, grinding, cutting. So these go over top of these. These are gas masks, so when I paint I use these, and then these go over top. They are a dust protective filter. And look at this. I've used this once to clean up underneath the chassis for like 3 hours or so. And this is the outside, this is the inside. That would have been in my nose, in my airways, in my lungs, if I didn't wear this. So yeah, a good reminder. And that's the last coat applied. Now we'll just let it dry overnight, and then we can start applying the top coat black. Wow. Look at that finish. That's perfect, perfect. It's now another day later, so this paint has been sprayed on for about 24 hours ago, and it's been curing and everything. And well, the finish looks amazing. It looks really like brand new, so I'm really happy about that. It's all smooth and all even, so couldn't be any better. So let's put some black paint on now, shall we? First coat applied, and as usual I spray a very light coat first, and I do all the hard stuff first, like edges and corners and around bolts and stuff, just to make sure that the coat isn't too thick and starts running. So first coat, it doesn't cover completely, but that's not a problem, because we're going to cover it with more coats, and just make sure that it doesn't start running. That's 3 coats of black paint done, and I'm really happy with the finish so far. Now we'll just let it dry overnight and see what the result is tomorrow. I'm really excited about this because it looks really great, and I've never had a Defender with such a good looking rear cross member. So this will be exciting. Two days later, and the paint has been drying, and well, look at this. It's perfect. It looks really good. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, I think I'm going to take all the plastic away and give you a better shot of it. Now, doesn't that look amazing? I'm really happy with the end result. The crossmember looks as if it's brand new. The rest of the car doesn't, but at least the crossmember does. Now, I hope you liked this video. I really liked making this video and making the upgrade or the improvement. So yeah, please leave some comments down below. Tell me if you would have done anything different or if you learned something. And please like, subscribe and share this video so more people can see it. And we'll see you in the next one.